Okay, we just wrapped up all of the modeling. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create PDFs. Now, quickest way to do that, the print icon is right up here. You'll notice the pop-up help also says Control P, that's a Windows shortcut. You can also go to the File menu and click Print and Print. I happen to like just clicking on that icon or Control P. It's the easiest thing. Now, some of the printer choices that I have here are something that's specific to my work environment. You're probably not going to see them. Everything that we have in the classroom will say Adobe PDF. So click Adobe PDF. I'm going to come here to Properties. I do not want to prompt for the Adobe file name. I just want it to default to the Documents/PDF, and I do not want to view the Adobe PDF results. This is just me and my OCD, especially when you're printing out a project that says, I've got 300 sheets to print. Number one, I don't want every single sheet written out to its own individual file to pop up and say, what do you want to name me? What do you want to name me? What do you want to name me? I also don't want that PDF to open up and open up and open up and open up. I mean, it just leaves me with a computer screen filled with 300 windows that I really don't need to see automatically. If I want to spot check them, I'll do that after the fact. I'm going to click on Paper and Quality, come down to Advanced. I want to change print quality from 1200 DPI. I don't need my DPI to be that high. Come on. There it is. Your DPI for output, especially if you're using a large scale printer plotter, is going to be 300 DPI. That's almost a hardware limit. I think they're just now getting to 600. But all we want is 300. That will perfectly communicate everything that we want to deal with. We'll adjust the paper size in another dialog, so don't freak out. We'll click OK. We'll click OK. We're done with all that. Okay. Over here in the bottom left-hand corner on print range, we want selected views and sheets. So I will click on select underneath that. I'm going to uncheck views. So this shows me only the sheets in this model that I can choose to print. In this case, I want to print all the sheets. So I'll click check all, and I'll come here and press the Save As button, and then say full set. Click OK. Happy, done. We remember that. We'll click OK. We're now going to change our print settings. This is where we set the size of the page that we're actually going to print to. So click on Setup. We want Adobe PDF. That's fine. The letter size or the page size. Oh goodness, and this is where I have something different than anything that you have, because again, this is reflecting what's in my corporate work environment as opposed to what you guys are going to see in school. However, I can tell you exactly what to expect. You're going to scroll through this list until you can find ANSI, A-N-S-I, and then a D. Now, in my printer, that is a 22 by 34. I've modified the list and made it a lot shorter. Mine is going to say 22 by 34. Yours is going to say ANSI D. That's what we're going to look for. Okay, I want the paper placement to be centered. I want the zoom. I don't want fit to page. I want to zoom it at 100%. I don't need to see view and links in blue. I do want to see, or I don't want to see my unreferenced view tag. So that's elevations or section cuts that you've placed in the model, but you have not placed on a sheet. If you print those out and the contractor sees a section cut or a section tag that doesn't have any text in it, they're going to call you and say, there's a section here, but you're not showing me where it is. Where is it? If you haven't placed it on a sheet, that means no one else needs to see it except us. So we turn it off here when we actually go to print. Hide scope boxes, that's fine. Hide crop boundaries. It's kind of hard to show right now. I'll have to move a couple things out of the way. But you'll see that line around the perimeter of my 3D perspective view. There's some of you that are concerned that that black line is going to show up on your prints. When we say hide crop boundaries, that takes those crop boundaries and basically the black line around the perimeter of our views become invisible. That's all that means. So that's our way of turning that off. Okay, we've got the settings for our PDF, or for our print. for the page size and everything, all that set. Now I want to be able to pull this up again if I need it in the future. So I can click on Save As and just call this 22 by 34. That's all I need to remember right here. And this group of settings is saved in the Revit project file. So it doesn't matter what machine you open it on, those print settings are going to show up. So we click OK. And the last thing that we need to do, click on Combine Multiple Selected Views into a Single Sheet. And this is going to default to your My Documents folder in the Windows Explorer. If you're trying to print this directly to an external drive for whatever reason, Adobe wants to get hung up on it and it's not particular, it's not consistent. Sometimes it will print and make the PDF to an external, to a flash drive. Sometimes it won't. The easiest way around that is just, stick it right here in your My Documents folder. I am going to add my initials down to the end of it, just because I know some of the other students in the class haven't deleted their information or their PDF files from the My Documents folder in the computer lab. So if you have your initials on it, you know that you're dealing with your information and not theirs. Okay, so there's that. At this point, everything has been set, and we click OK. Now, depending on, here we go, and it says creating page 2, creating page 3. All right, there's everything, and it's just moving right along. All right, that's about the right amount of time. If you see that dialog go and then it disappears, all you're going to have, basically a glitch happened and no PDF was created. But because all the settings and everything was saved, then all you have to do, again, if that dialog shows up and it's only on screen for a few seconds before it goes away, probably means the PDF was not created. Just to make sure, we're going to open the Windows Explorer. I'm going to go to My Documents, and you get to see how horrible My Documents folder is at my work computer. Apologize for that. Come on. Documents. Come on. Technology is great when it works. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. There it is. Video Project 3. That's exactly what I want. And I want to open this in Adobe Acrobat because the next step is kind of critical. If you don't see your PDF here, all you have to do is go back into Revit. And you can see the PDF is right there. If you don't see the PDF in Windows Explorer, go back into Revit, click on the print icon, and then click OK again. All the other settings should not need to change. If you want to double check it, rewind the video. It's going to be the easier thing to do than to have me spell through it out a second time. Yeah, all you should have to do is click OK. It's not going to want to do it for me now because I've actually got that file open. So, all right, that is actually creating the PDF. And you can see I've got it open in Adobe Acrobat. In the next video, I'll show you the print settings that you need in Adobe Acrobat. This is going to need to happen in the other, not in the computer classroom, but in the computer lab. I'll show you the print settings you need to make sure that it prints properly on a 11 by 17 sheet. So we'll see you